How's it going, guys? It's K Cars, and in this video I'm going to be talking about how much money I've spent on the Dodge Challenger ScatPack. Now, it might not look like much, but I have 12 things on my list of things that I'm going to talk about in this video, and I'm going to try to go in order of earliest to most current mod. This video is going to cover absolutely everything that I did to this car from start to now, so I hope I didn't leave anything out, but let's go ahead and hop right into the video. So the number one thing on my list was the mid-muffler delete. It was $100 for them to cut off the mufflers and weld it in a straight pipe, and here's what that sounds like. So as you see, the muffler delete did add a lot of sound to the car, but it also added some raspiness as well. So if you want to keep the tone, like the kind of low tone that's on the stock exhaust, then you probably should just keep it stock or go with a whole catback system from Corsa or a different brand like that. But if you go with the second option, then you're probably going to be looking at spending about $2,000. And with that kind of money, you should probably just go ahead and get long tube headers and catless mid pipes. But then again, if you're doing it to not get that raspy sound, the catback system is probably the best way to go. I don't know how well you guys can see this, but the weld, one of them is right there, and the other is on the other side to the right. So that's where the mufflers used to be. That's where they cut them out from. And as you can see, they just welded in a straight pipe right there. But like I said, the muffler delete was about $100. And whenever you get this done, you want to make sure they weld all the way around the exhaust. Some shops actually drop the entire exhaust so they can reach it a lot better. But the place I went to just used a mirror and kind of just looked up there so they could make sure they're welding all the way around. And as far as I can tell, there's no exhaust leaks, so I'm really happy with it. Next mod that I'm going to talk about, you guys are probably going to laugh at this one, but it's window tint. Like I said, I am going to talk about every single thing that I did to this car from start to now, and window tint is one of the very first things that I ever did to this car. As the Strad man likes to say, this thing looked like a fishbowl when I first got it. It didn't look that great. As you can see, the front windshield is stock, and all of these side windows and the back window are, I believe, 35%. So it's not like limo tint or anything crazy like that, but it is the legal limit here where I live. So I just decided to stay legal with the tint, and it was $125 to get the rear window and the two side windows, as well as this little window over here. So all the side windows in the rear, $125, 35% tint. And I kept the windshield how it is because I didn't want to get pulled over for windshield tint. But yeah, if you guys have a car like this, then you know window tint definitely makes it look a lot better, especially a Challenger, because from the factory, like I said, it was really clear. You could see everything inside the car, and I just wanted it to look a lot better. Like I said, it was one of the first things I ever got done to this car. It was $125. Now, the next thing is also a cosmetic mod, and it's actually the tinted tail lights. What I'm talking about here is this little middle part right there. So that is just a sticker. It was $30, and I forgot where I got it from, but I know Lux Auto Concepts has stickers just like this. I didn't get it from there, but they have them listed for $30, so I'm just gonna go with that price. You can see these are kind of starting to bubble up a little bit, so I don't know what I'm gonna have to get new ones, but I guess they're sticking on there pretty well. And they do make it look a lot better because stock, you can just see like the whole white part, and it just didn't really fit the car. I like how it's just red and black and no other colors to offset anything here. It's definitely a good cosmetic mod. I'd recommend it to anybody with a Challenger. It's really easy to install as well. I mean, it's just a sticker, there's nothing to it. All you have to do is clean the surface and then just put it on there pretty carefully. And yeah, that's all there is to it, and it makes it look a lot better. Like I said, I forgot the exact website I got it from, but Lux Auto Concepts has the same exact ones listed for $30. So I'm just gonna go with that. The next modification is one that some people might probably get triggered by, and it's actually this SRT powered badge. Now, it's not just a plain old SRT badge, because that would be considered up badging. It says SRT powered, and it has a picture of the Super Bee right there. So this isn't up badging at all. Under the hood, it specifically says powered by SRT, and like I said, it says SRT powered. I bought this from BJsGarage570.com. believe it was about $30 for that. Now, unfortunately, he did actually have to close down his business, so I don't think these are for sale anymore unless you want to buy a used one, I guess. So I like how it looks because stock obviously is just a plain whatever you call that, spoiler. I just like it better how it looks like that. And like I said, it isn't up badging because it says SRT powered and picture of the ScatPack logo or a Super B, whatever you want to call that. It's the same thing as is right there. So it stands for ScatPack or Super B, like I said. And I just like the way it looks. And I believe it was $30 from BJ's Garage 570. But unfortunately, that website is no longer available. I think this next one that I'm going to talk about is pretty funny, but it's actually the license plate frame here. As you can see, Mopar or no car, of course. It was about $30 for this thing. It's metal. It's supposed to be white, but it's gotten a little bit dirty here. It does come with these little screw covers here, so it looks really clean like that. You just pop these off and unscrew it that way. And yeah, I mean, that's all there is to it. It's just a license plate frame that says Mopar or no car. And it definitely looks a lot better than the white license plate frame that I got from the dealership. Because like I said, I did want to keep just the two colors, red and black. And I did not like the way that white frame looked on this car, so I went ahead and got this thing for $30. So now we're gonna move on to the most expensive mod that I ever did to this car, and that was the long tube headers and catless mid pipes. It's definitely my favorite mod as well. So for the long tube headers, they were $1,025 from Cook's, and that was actually during the Black Friday sale as well. I think it was like 20% off. So it was still really expensive for that. The catless mid pipes were $585. So those were also pretty expensive, but like I said, that is my most expensive mod on this car and my favorite mod as well. So I am going to include a few exhaust clips of how that sounds. As you guys heard from those, it sounds insane. I love how it sounds. It pops and cracks a lot more now. Stock, it was really quiet. Yeah, it sounds a whole lot better now. And there is a disadvantage of getting long tube headers. They do stick down a little bit lower, so whenever you're going over speed bumps, you just have to go slower and be more cautious. Because I scrape on the headers sometimes, even though this car isn't lowered, but it's really not that bad. As you can see, the headers are right there, and they do stick down a little bit lower than everything else, so if you do scrape, you're going to be scraping on those things. Like I said, the long tube headers and catless mid pipes are definitely my favorite mods that I've ever done to this car. And whenever I got them, I took the car and the parts up to OSC Dyno a little bit north of Pittsburgh, and they installed it and did the whole dyno tune for me. So that's actually the next thing I wanted to talk about, which is all the installation costs and dyno tuning costs from OSC Dyno. So here are all the prices from OSC Dyno. As you can see, the total is $2,116, and I'm going to tell you guys what that all includes. So first, the headers, removal of the headers. They put 3 hours down for that, and it was $95 an hour, so $285 for the removal of the headers. And then the actual installation was another 3 hours, so $285 for that. I was going to also get two-step installed on this car. It was going to be the Stage 6 Motorsports two-step, but I decided I was only doing that for the sound, not really any kind of purpose for this car. So I didn't want to be like a little ricer just two-stepping in a parking lot at car meets. So I decided to not do that. So that took away $42.50 because they estimated half an hour for that. And then just for a custom dyno tune, it was $550. The OSC Dyno is probably one of the best shops in the world for Mopars. So I mean, they can basically charge whatever they want and people would still be going to them. It was $550 for the dyno tune. And for the tune, I also had to get an unlocked PCM, which was $599. And then the two-step was $315, and I actually sold that, so I'm not going to count that. And the shipping on the parts was $25, miscellaneous $15. Then if you guys are interested in the dyno sheet, here's what that looks like. I'm not completely sure how to read this, but what I do know is that it put down 422 horsepower stock, And then after the mods and tune, it was 470. So it's about a 48 horsepower increase. So like I said, the long tube headers and callus mid pipes were by far my favorite mod that I've ever done to this car. And yes, I did have to pay a lot for the installation and dyno tune and all that. But OC Dyno, like I said, is probably the best shop to take your Mopar to in the whole world. Like, I would highly recommend them to anybody with a Challenger or a Charger or a Jeep or anything like that, any Mopar, because they will do a fantastic job and they're really easy to work with too. The next thing I'm going to talk about is another cosmetic mod, which are these rock guards. I have them on the front and the rear. So this is what the rear looks like. And these were $80 from ZL1 add-ons. So I'm really happy with how these look. One downside is that the one on the front is already kind of peeling off. It has like 3M adhesive, but it's already coming off, as you can see there. It's not really sticking very well, but that could be because I didn't install it properly and it's not in the right position, but I don't know. It still looks good, it's just, you can definitely tell that it's coming off. These were $80 for the deluxe ones, front and rear, on ZL1addons.com. So they actually make a lot of different products, not only for ZL1s, obviously, they make stuff for Challengers as well. And I'm really happy with how they look. Next cosmetic mod is also from ZL1 add-ons, and it was $200, and it's this diffuser right here. It's probably one of my favorite cosmetic mods that I've done, and in my opinion, it kind of makes the whole car look a bit lower, like closer to the ground. Obviously it's not lowered, but it just makes it look like it is. And I love the way it looks. This thing was a little bit difficult to install, but it's probably the easiest one you can get. All you do is, I think there's like 6 screws and that's it. The only difficult part is getting to the 2 screws that are like in the middle right here. I don't know where exactly they are, but you can check out my install video for that. But the reason it's difficult is because it's kind of hard to like get your arm in there while this thing is already on, but you just have to do that to screw them in. So yeah, it wasn't too bad, and it looks amazing in my opinion. Like I said, it was $200 from ZL1addons.com. Next thing I'm going to talk about are the side skirts that I have, and these were $230 also from ZL1 add-ons. Now they are really dirty right now, and as you can probably assume, all the water and rain and mud literally just falls right onto them, so that's why they get really dirty really quick if you drive in rain or anything else. These things were also not that bad to install. All you have to do is screw in some screws, but it would be helpful to have somebody to hold this thing up while you're screwing it in, because it's kind of hard to do it on your own. I did it by myself, and you can check out my video of how that went. But basically all you do is, you don't actually screw anything in. You kind of just screw on these lock screws and they just pinch onto the pinch welds, and that's how they're supported. But as you can see, there is a little bit of play, especially in the back here. So I don't know, they're not going anywhere unless you like rip them off with a lot of force. But yeah, they look really good when they're clean. It's just that they catch all the rain and mud whenever it rains, so I guess that's the only downside. Like I said, these were $230 from ZL1addons.com. So the next thing I want to talk about is actually this catch can right here, which was $135 from Billet Technology. And I believe this is the cheapest one you can get. No kind of like special colors or anything. As you can see, I do have the rubber hoses. You can get braided hoses, and I think you can get like different colors as well. This one is the Z bracket, and since I have the shaker, it was a lot more difficult to install than I was expecting, because if you don't have the shaker, then I believe you just screw it in right there. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but there's a hole right there that you're supposed to screw it into. But if I did that, it wouldn't be able to clear the shaker, so I had to screw it in way down lower. That was the part that was the most difficult about this whole install, just because it's kind of hard to like get down in there and squeeze your hand in there and just screw it in tightly. Yeah, like I said, it was $135 from Billet Technology. Guys, the total amount of money that I've spent on this car is $4,686, but that includes the two-step. So I believe I sold that for $295, so that comes out to $4,391. So that's how much money I spent on this car so far. Definitely a lot of money, but it was definitely all worth it. I love doing stuff to this car, Like I said, my favorite mod was the most expensive mod, the headers and mid pipes, and it made it sound a whole lot better. Like I said in the beginning of this video, if you want to see more detailed videos or installation tutorials of any of these mods, then definitely check out my channel, because I have tutorials and reviews on almost every single mod on this car, except for the taillight tint, window tint, and the badge on the back. Every other mod has a few videos for it, so you can go check those out if you want more information. So if you guys have any questions about any of these mods that I mentioned in this video, I'll be happy to answer those down in the comments. And if you guys have any suggestions for videos you would like to see in the future, suggestions for mods that I should do, also leave those down in the comments. And if you like this video or found it entertaining, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.